I promise. Woo. Okay. Alright. Shit. Hold on. Okay. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Oh, every time. Let's see. No leggy poo in the shoe. Hopefully not. I hope y'all can see all the cards. Okay, so we're going to pretty much pick up where we left off. Okay. That was on the top of the deck. Willow. Let's see. Make sure y'all can see all of the cards. Alright, come here, book. And we are reading from the Green World Oracle. I swear it's so freaking hot. Okay. Oh, yeah. Molimo. Thus, Molimo became a means of an intimate communion between a people and their God, lowercase God. Wait, let me read what it says for that. Again, so our world is going well. Then also we sing to the forest because we want it to share our happiness. God, capital God, must be good to give us so many things. He he must be so of the forest. So we sing we sing to the forest. Thus Malimo becomes a mean of in where'd it go? Okay, I'm getting to it. In intimate communion between a people and their God. That one, as you can see, is spelled with a lowercase. A lowercase g. One is talking about this is in the capital, and this one is a lowercase of the forest. They never ask for something to be done. For the hunt to improve or health to be restored. Their faith is such that it is enough simply to awaken the forest with their singing. When the forest will do whatever is needed, they only only in times of death to sing. Do they sing one of their greatest songs in its entirety? It is this song that that perhaps best express their complete faith. Here it is core. There is darkness all around us, but if darkness is and the darkness is the force, then the darkness must be good. When whew, wealthy land downers can downers in the American South. So that'd be like, I guess, Mexico. That's crazy. Well, it's not really crazy, but I was just thinking about something else in my head. Um, it just showed me pretty much an incident where a lot of people were found in. It was 46 people, which equates to 11 people found in a semi truck. Hispanic people came from the borders of Mexico, of South America, Haiti, and other Caribbean islands began import, importing slaves in the 18th century. Most came from the West African Yoruba and four people. Wait, foreign people, foreign peoples. FON became horrific sea journeys. Um, New slaves saw tropical rainforests similar to what they had known, but everything else was brutally altered. Their masters broke up families and wow, on a whim, treating husbands for tearing husbands from their wives and both from their children. The women were routinely raped as a cheap and satisfying way of obtaining more slaves. In this time of dark horror, slaves were even denied any open access expression of their traditional worship, Christianity. Catholicism, for the most part, was forced upon them by many indigenous people who were enslaved and Christianized in the New World. West Africa had to discuss their details, deities, behind names of archangels. Yeah, Satan and the Virgin Mary, a major goddess. Oloa developed in his prior period. Azrael, goddess of love, sex, health, good fortune, jewelry, dance, flowers, wealth, dreams, art, language, beauty, captivity, hopes, and aspirations. Her peaceful, carefree rainforest roots were in Africa. But the tragic circumstances of her people in the world changed her. She added vengeance, discord, jealousy, and wrenching sorrow to her rules as she, in turn, the altered new world, pantheon of the nature-based African religion known as Voodoo, from an African world of spirit. Violent spelling include voodoo, 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 wait, voodoo. Ezekiel's dark side caused her to be immensely fierce and vengeful when offered fear into her followers, but because she also gave her that's why it's long. I was wondering why this was so long. When I went back to it in the book, I had to find it again before I started the video. And I'm like, yeah, Forest is long. Dang. 10, this is the end. 10, 10. Despair. I swear, I keep washing my hands and cleaning my shit. I was still scratching my head. Okay. Whew. Desperate people. What? And taught them to hope, dream, and aspire. She was the most beloved goddess of all. At a tragic time, when enslaved women were torn from their husbands. Erasio, I don't know how to pronounce it for real, and I don't want to fuck it up. Wore 3 wedding bands, one for each of her husbands. I swear, I was just saying this shit. I just said this shit. Sky God, uh, Dembala, damn, Sea God, Egway, and the fire god Ogun. I know I fucked that name up. uh, this is fucking crazy, bro. Part one of Warriors and Ironsmiths. Mm-mm-mm. 3 husbands are sometimes seen as suggesting that Isha is a triple goddess. Hmm. An empress. High priestess empress of the divine. But since that concept has a strong Greek Kentric tradition, Eurocentric, it may not reflect genuine African beliefs as of today. When we're talking about before man took over and changed history, that's why they call it his story. Her 3 wedding bands seem more like a promise to other women that their what? Anguish will not last forever, and that a time will come when they will again enjoy a abundance of love. Their three, therefore, her love of fine things like perfumes and clothes, and sweet things like bananas, fried in raw sugar, plantains. That's so funny. I eat plantains too. Also seems to promise that her flowers leaves will once again contain such sweetness, despite her her role as giver of life pleasures. There is a pro- profound sense of dark tragedy that causes her to break down and sob. Uncontrollably. her moods shift abruptly from the highest of joy, passion, to complete misery, as of the roots of her people. Trauma lies too deep to be absent for long from her. Con- consequent, wait, con- cons- consciousness, yeah, her consciousness. Then she curls up into a ball like a terrified child. Weeping and inconsolably until she is red eyed and haggard. If a human exhibited such a seemingly mis, mis, mismatched range of emotions, they will be viewed as suffering from post traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Stupid. They would probably also be labeled bipolar. What the fuck? God. Like we don't deserve, and like we don't have trauma in our DNA. Like we're not still healing from that. That's not fair to label somebody as such. Manic, depressive, but Ishu is a goddess and not subject to human labels. Oh man, I swear, I'm pretty sure I was just talking about this too. The the traumas coursing through her collective, not individual. She knows that life comes with pain, but the dis what? Let me see. I can't even see shit. But her, but her devastating, ruthless treatment of humans from cultures built upon slavery to the contemporary enslavement of women and children in the sweatshops and brothels of the world are a provision of anything natural in harmony. So is unneeding warfare. Warfare, far from greed and power, when grief racks Iris, ugh, Irizuli, Irizuli. She looses her boundaries to and tries to carry all these millennia, millennia, all these millennia of collective Agani, like the Virgin Mary. That's why Virgin Mary kept popping out like that. Those shit. If y'all know what I'm talking about, go look at the previous videos. Oh, for the past month or two, those shares that same burden, and with whom Erizio, Erizio is associated. Erizio is symbolized by a heart broken with a arrow. If the goddess is zero, generous, strong, furious, and this doesn't say furious, fires, and immensely powerful, as also bipolar and afflicted with PTSD. Would that more of the world's deities were as well. Together they might influence a new age of a deepening compassion and common sense. It is to her credit, and one might suggest to the shame of the others, that she has the courage to remain on the cutting edge of such suffering. Ezekiel's Visualize strongest connection to the rainforest. The Haiti is as Haiti is a statue of the comma EAU. Oh my gosh. We're a magnificent fire waterfall. So they're just pretty much describing. She got me here in her head. Which have okay, that's the description. Follow this one and with this piece of devotion, which is an approach to every mental humans revered sight is a waterfall name set to the AU more years ago. Frida, the goddess of love, expected the wrath of the Catholic priest by turning into a penguin and disappearing into the iridescent mist. One need only touch the water to feel its grace. And for someone to get enough to dip into the shallow savory pool. Leaving their offering of corn and rice in small piles, but most go directly to the cascades, women and men, old and young, burying their